Welcome to Killstream number 14. I'm your host, the Ralph, joined as always by Janet Bloomfield. This is a co-production between me and her. We also have the Deuce, Ian. He's in the house with us. Co-host Nora was really tired and she couldn't show up. So, first off, Deuce, I guess say hello, and then Janet say hello, and then I'll just get right into what everybody wants to talk about. Might as well.
All right. Hey, how's it going?
I've had better days, but
Yeah.
you know how it goes.
Hi, everybody. I'm looking forward to this show because I really haven't. I've had like my own drama, nothing even compared to what Ethan's been going through, but I haven't kept up. So I'm really interested in hearing everything that's happened. I know the big issues, but jump right in. Ethan, tell us what the fuck's going on.
It is. Let me see how the stream looks. It says it's okay. I can't really tell. Let me pull it up on the watch page. It's supposed to be in green, but it's actually in yellow.
Tell us what the fuck's
Yeah, it looks
going
okay,
on.
I guess. If it doesn't, somebody tell me and I can stop it for a minute and start it back. Okay, well, let me just start way back. The Ivy Clover 1, that's the handle on Twitter, is a person who I've known since I've ever been doing anything in Gamergate, and I've talked to this person day in, day out until maybe early December. I consider them my closest ally, closest friend within the movement, within the cause. Told him everything, told him stuff about my life that you just wouldn't believe. I mean, personal shit that I don't talk about. Dude told me a lot of the same thing. At first I thought this was a female. One day, very early on in our relationship, actually, he pulled me into a call with Cindy Wynn, who was King of Paul's girlfriend, or about to be at the time, and Jade Fox. And he revealed himself to be a dude, and we all laughed about it. It was funny, except he kept playing as a female from then on. He never told anybody, and to be frank with you, I didn't tell anybody either. It did come out. It's been a rumor on the underground or whatever. It's not like it was, some people still believe it's a female. It's not. I've talked to this guy hundreds of times on audio. It's definitely a dude. I have all kinds of other types of proofs that it's a dude. I will talk about that more. He's catfish females, gotten pictures out of him. It's a Steve Polk type situation, to be honest with you. I can't really lay that out here on stream because it's something that's going to have to be written out, and so that will be coming. So I just tell you this to let you know that I've known this person forever. For some reason, and I really cannot tell you why. I found out the other day, like I said, I collaborated with Ivy a shit ton, and not only did he collaborate with me, he collaborated with sites like Niche Gamer, he collaborated with sites like Tech Raptor. He was basically behind the scenes conduit that connected a lot of the sites and a lot of the news, and kept stuff rolling in a lot of ways. I mean, the role was highly valuable. A lot of times he would give me prepackaged stories. If you know the Guardian leak, he's the person who gave me the Guardian leak. So that's like the second or third biggest story that's ever been on my site. He was very protective of me having credit for that. If you know the fight I got in with Leo Pirate, it was because of him. He got in my ear and he's like, why is he not crediting you for this? He took your logo off the picture. He's like, you need to DMCA this motherfucker. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, no, it's not that big a deal. It's not that big a deal. And originally I thought we had something worked out between me and Leo Pryor, and he put a link on there. But I'm just saying it was Avi that kind of started that fight. Now I did get into it further with Leo Pryor afterwards because I felt like he was disrespecting me, and it was like a continuation of that. But so I can't blame the whole thing on Avi, but he was the one that got it started. So I've just basically my closest advisor behind the scenes throughout. The other day, my ads got pulled, and they said, that I wrote an article about my ads getting pulled. Somebody had sent me a DM, if you see here in this article. they sent me a DM, and this was the day before they got pulled, and they said, be careful, somebody, you didn't hear it from me, that's literally what it says, some people are trying to get mailing goals on you and your site. And, I heard it, and I was like, whatever, basically. Well, the next day, my ads got suspended, and I was no longer like, whatever. So, at first, I didn't talk about it all day, but I thought I could fix it, and then I didn't. It still might get fixed, but I have a different ad service on there now. It's not quite as good, but anyways, go ahead.
They usually tell you what you have to do, right?
Yeah, see, AdSense, it's not an account suspension, right? It's just a site violation, so I have had 2 appeals rejected so far. Now, the last appeal I submitted was on Friday afternoon, so I probably won't hear anything about it until Monday. But I'm trying to retune it. I think I would be in compliance now. I've done a lot of changes going forward. Obviously, the site I kind of do a shock jock type style, a lot of profanity and stuff like that. Flashy graphics, might be an F-bomb on the graphic, might be something controversial. It'll probably have to be more professionalized actually going forward. It's I'd rather have the more freewheeling style. It still will be to some extent, but I'll just have to. It's gonna have to change if I use AdSense. So, and I've also
all that stuff too, though. I do all that stuff. I mean, one of my articles is like, why don't we have a drunk fucking whore registry? AdSense is fine with that.
Well, they are fine until people start. These
targeting and complaining.
They were fine with everything I did, pretty much. I think I had like one or two little problems, and I fixed it right away and got my shit running. And they were fine with it until people start brigading it and start reporting every single thing, and then they're no longer fine with it. So I got my ads yanked, and I wrote an article. And somebody who's not even affiliated with Gamergate, that's how sad it's gotten, came at me in my DMs, and they said, this has been going around, right? This was going around beforehand trying to get your ads pulled, and it was a list of articles like a fucking mile long. I shit you not, 300 to 400 articles on this list. It's double digit, at least 200. Let's put it that way. I had to sit there and count, but it took forever to go through every single article. And I looked at it, and the name on the paste bin was Waifu Senpai. And I sat there, and I was, it's a pretty distinctive heading, right? And I said, damn, that sounds very, very familiar. And you can see here that I have it highlighted here. And I said, that sounds familiar. I said, that couldn't be, though. I was like, that's not Ivy. It couldn't be. Not that many people have their own private pastebin account, because you don't really need it. And so, but I said, you know what? I think that's Ivy. And I went through my DMs that literally go back into September 2014. Thousands, 30, 40, 50,000 messages, no shit. And I looked through it, and it was it was a story about Nero Gonzalez, I think's his name, and Destructoid, and he basically sent me the prepackaged info. I mean, it wasn't the story, but it was like all the infos and what some of the insiders had said, and so I was to take that and make it into a story, and that's how it works sometimes. It's not always, me just commenting on something. This was more of a package deal, and so I went back and I found it in my DMs. Before I did that, he actually tried to erase the original one where he had all my articles on it. Too bad for him that I had already archived it. There's the erasure, whatever you want to call it. So if you keep streaming, going down here, you can see that I have the Pastebin article right there. Here you go, fam. Nero the racist, and that was it was some allegations in there that basically painted him to be a racist. And so you go down and you can look at the Pastebin, and it's the same name. And so once I saw that, I decided to publish on my site some of the things that I know about him and how crazy he is. Basically, after, like I said, the first time I ever met this guy, he was in a call with Jade Fox and Cindy. Well, Jade Fox ended up getting very close to Mr. Medicare. Would be on his streams, would be his co-host, and I know who would date their co-host. Shocking. But he eventually they got close, and she would go out to see him, and she lives with him now, as far as I know. this just enraged Ivy. I mean, it just, how could you take her away from me? You won't let her talk to me anymore. Basically, he was like Fart is with Lizzie. Just completely obsessed with this person. Wants to be with him. Fart, Bandit, whatever you want to call the guy. It's the same person. Nick Monroe, he works for the Escapists now. So, and that's not his real name, but whatever. So, he's just totally obsessed with this person, and he just turned on IA. As far as I know, I can't say what he did behind the scenes to fuck with IA, but I know that was an enemy for life right there. I didn't participate in any of that because I love Internet Aristocrat, and I was just always be like, oh, whatever, dude. Just chill out. Basically, he didn't have a chance with her anyway, so he's spurging over nothing. It's like, why are you even getting upset? I don't know. So that it was always enraged him. Like, even if I talked to him 2 months ago and mentioned Jim, he'd just fucking flip out. I mean, that's how bad it was. And I'll talk about this some more tonight on my site.
So is this the person they're accusing you of doxing?
No, this is the person. I'm gonna tie this in. Okay, so I've told you a little background on Ivy Clover, who is a dude, not a female, guaranteed male. I will show you that. Not on this stream. It'll be on the site because it's gonna have to be an actual detailed report. By the way, my chat wasn't the only chat going on. I'll talk about that too. So today there was a major, supposedly breaking big story leak from my chat. And I say my chat, but it was a collective. We had a group on Twitter called the Twitter Kill Team. Somebody thought I invented that the other day because of my shit with Bro Team. No, I've been in a group called the Kill Team since September. Just people shit talking and having fun on Twitter DMs. When I found out about Slack at the beginning of the year, I decided to switch over because it's a great service. Now, the thing about it is I brought in a couple people who weren't in the other group. And basically, they ended up leaking something early on out of the Slack. And so, us, that person had to go. Well, turns out that person, who was Fart, by the way, who was Bandit, was still working with Ivy to keep ears in the chat. So they still had people inside the chat. After I outed Ivy on my site the other night, because, once I found out he got the ads taken, you're dead to me, dude. Like, that's just a stab in the back. I wouldn't take that from anybody, much less my number one ally.
And by the way, let's point out, in that list, what was in that list?
Now, we're going to get... Yeah, we're going to get to how fraudulent the actual leak was. We'll talk about that. Don't get me wrong.
I just said that Ivy was... trying to was reporting you for reporting on
the violation that got my ads revoked was a report on Sarah Butts, Sarah Nyberg, a pedophile, and so not even a self-proclaimed pedophile. It's not like I'm just saying that; it's what the person themselves said, and so that was what got my ads taken. That's how much they hate me. Like, they're willing to compromise everything just to take me out, and so. After I named him on my site the other night, outed his whole game. And I'm not done yet, by the way. I will get some more on your ass. If you're listening, motherfucker, I got a lot more, and it's all coming. So, after I did that, I guess he decided that he just had to try to sink me no matter what. So, that's where we come into today. Early this morning, about, 6 a.m. or so, 7 a.m., a huge leak came out. And the way it was framed was just totally fraudulent. A lot of the quotes, and I haven't read through the whole thing. We did chat in there. We did make fucked up jokes. We did, have fun. But this is the same thing that's going on all across Gamergate, all across our circles. Cult of Vivian's in a chat. All these motherfuckers got their own little chats. It's no big deal. That's just how it works. And it's just a place to congregate and talk shit. We weren't putting it out there. We did spitball all kinds of ideas. We did make some crude jokes. But now I'm gonna pull up something.
But it's so unfair.
Go ahead, I'll let you talk while I pull it up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so unfair to take private chats. Okay, I have a phone. I have a passcode on my phone, and of course my husband knows that. He's welcome to go through anything on my phone, but I've always told him, don't open up my chat with Charlotte, because she's married too, and when we have something really super fucking cunty or bitchy or just like complete fucking asshole to say to our husbands, we don't do it. We say it to each other just to get the steam out, kind of thing. Like, don't be a bitch. Just so I'll text her like the worst things about trivial shit my husband has done to piss me off, and she'll text me back the same stuff, and we'll vent about our kids. But if you went in there and read it, you're gonna hear and read a lot of shit that was only intended for each other's eyes. I mean, we're venting precisely so we don't go off in public and unnecessarily hurt our husband or our kids. Like, I can text her something like my kid built like the most fucking retarded thing out of Lego I've ever seen. I'm pretty sure he's working at Burger King, right? Like, I would never say that to him, but I'll say it to her just because it's fun. And if you took the contents of those chats and exposed them, it would be completely unfair, and it would be so far out of context that no external person could possibly understand what we're talking about.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It was just, there was nothing in there but like some morbid jokes. And then whoever leaked them, they added on their own stupid commentary to just make it completely dumb.
Yeah, I'd like to see it, Ralph. Can you post a link to where it is?
To the link?
I think we're going to be going over that later, probably.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, we're about to talk about it. I will post it. I will, this is an actual archive of it, but we can go over some of it line by line, but I wanted to show if I can find it now. Yeah, here we go. I'll post this in the Skype chat. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, wrong one. Okay, here we go. There it is in the Skype chat. So, okay. Now, the way they frame this is just was completely fraudulent. Like, the talking points, the way they used to frame it, they're just lies. And I'll get into it. Bro team, scumbags like him, just spreading all kinds of shit. And it's one thing to troll, it's one thing to talk shit, whatever. That's fine. I don't mind being the butt of the joke. It doesn't bother me. Like, but when you're spreading shit trying to say my girlfriend was uploading child porn, and you're trying to drag other people through the mud because you got a feud with me, trying to fucking hurt other people's reputation, like Dan Mapplethorpe was doing today, pieces of shit like that. I don't have time for that, dude. And especially if you're saying there's pedophiles, convicted pedophiles in my chat with no proof, nothing, you just throw that out there without anything. Guess what? That shit ain't legal. You can sit there and have all the lulls you want. That's not fucking legal to just throw out an accusation like that. I could definitely take action. People are laughing about suing somebody. That shit ain't funny. I mean, it doesn't amuse me. And I told him over and over again, prove what the fuck you're saying. Of course, he can't prove it because it's not true.
Let's go over the log first, and then go over some of the stuff that.
No, I'm going to talk about this first.
Posted. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we will. This is a comment on KIA, and like I said, I didn't have time to write up my full report, but I will. But this is a pretty damn good start. I'm just going to read the comment. Every one of these summaries you quote is either a flatly untrue description of the logs it purports to describe, or an extreme distortion, assuming the logs are real. And from what I've seen, I can't say they haven't doctored them at all. Earlier today, I wrote that we got some good fiction writers down here, and people said, "Well, Ralph's denying the logs are real. He's saying they're fake." No, that's not what I said. Obviously, the way they're framed is what I'm talking about, the fictional aspect. I haven't went line by line. I can't say. I know there's a lot of things in there that did happen. Like I said, I haven't read the whole log, but
I went over most of it, and I don't think they changed any actual words, but what they did do is
the framing and right. The talking points. And guess what? Yeah. A lot of people didn't even read the logs. They just read through the charges. Right. Okay, every one of these summaries you quote is either a flatly untrue description of the logs it purports to describe, or an extreme distortion. Search down to the sections labeled with those summaries. Next time, don't take trolls at face value. And here's one of the summaries. Ethan was given information by Milo to run regarding Brianna Wu instead of Milo himself. The quoted excerpt contains no such claim. In fact, they link to the Deagle Nation thread the information is actually from. I think that's when we were doing a stream on Woo. So that had nothing to do with anything with Malo. That was his streamer doing. I don't even know where they got that from. Ethan is a pawn used by Malo to push articles too toxic for Breitbart. Now, that's not what happened. Now, the actual chat, and I remember this well, is I broke a story last week, and somebody had given me that story. I didn't find it myself, about Brianna Wu lying about having graduated from Ole Miss. Now, I did go find the audio. It wasn't like I didn't do anything, and I wrote it up and put it together and put my words in there. Well, that blew up. The next day, Brianna Wu just had a fucking meltdown on her Twitter. Then Breitbart ended up picking it up. Christy Jr., who was a member of my chat, said he was joking around. He's like, I love it when Malo uses Ralph for free labor to get an article. And it was just a joke. They were just saying that I started the fire on it. Now the big dog's about to come clean up, which I don't have a problem with. Malo is the big dog. It doesn't bother me at all. That's what his job is. I'm the little motherfucker biting angles. When the big dog comes through, it's the clean fucking house, you know? So that's what it was referring to. It was nothing about Breitbart's using me to push shit. I push shit on my own. They don't use me for shit. I do love and respect Malo. Everybody knows that. But it's not like, no, I don't get paid by Breitbart. They don't use me for that. Trying to put them in this at all is a fucking disgrace. And that shows you another angle these people are trying to take, trying to drive wedges, trying to bring down people that have nothing to do with it just because they hate me. So, anyway. This is the complete excerpt, the summary. Yeah, okay, I just explained that. There's obviously nothing about pushing articles too toxic for Breitbart in there. I think the person might have been vaguely implying that Malo gets article ideas from Ralph, but of course, Ralph has never done original research in his life and is naturally going to be faster at reporting unverified claims from other people than someone who does any sort of investigation or fact-checking. See, this is a hostile person. This person... No, I do original research, but not all the time. And
they're accusing you of photoshopping that?
No, but what I'm saying is this person who wrote this comment defending me doesn't like me. I mean, you can tell, like, Ralph never does any original research. He, da-da-da-da. This is a person who actually doesn't like me, but doesn't like lies even more. So, and yeah, we have the whole transcript. But like, okay, Janet, so what they did, instead of putting out a full log, they had it sectioned. And on each section, they would have, a line above it, like supposedly explaining what the section is. But if you actually read the section, that's not what it was. And so when they first leaked it, they said, here's a log, and they put a whole list of numbers, and it was like each section title. And the section titles were completely dishonest. So go ahead.
I was going to say, we just got to go through some of this and show. Yeah,
we will. We will actually go through it. Then
this is exactly like Mike Cernovich. You know who Mike is.
Yes.
He sent out a tweet, and it said, "This is the leader of Black Lives Matter." That's it. This is one of the leaders of Black Lives Matter. And it was this very overweight black woman. And he got, just dogpiled on Twitter with, how dare you fat shame her? How dare you call her ugly? Dude, he didn't say anything of the sort. That's all you projecting. They see what they want to see. And in a sense, I think arguing with them, Ralph, is way beneath you. It's not even worth their time. Nothing you say will convince them. They are immune to evidence. They are immune to logic. They are immune to reason. Dude, I would just move on. Don't write anything about this. Just ignore them.
There might be a few third parties who just take some stuff at face value.
Well, see, I didn't say anything all day long until I finally saw Bro Team trying to fucking drag my girlfriend in and agree with somebody else who said she had uploaded a picture of her sister, that she was partaking in child porn, which is totally false. It didn't happen at all.
You can see Bro Team Pill's been going after Shannon, liberal.
Yeah, going after Shannon, trying to go after Margaret, and who I don't even really want to bring into this because they're both great people. And Shannon's supposed to be coming on later. I really feel bad about how they done Margaret. Fuck them. Fuck Bro Team Pill. He can.
He was making fun of Margaret for having bought his merchandise in the past, and that's pretty low.
Yeah, it's pretty low. But
Team Pill. Okay, that's his name on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Bro Team Pill. Yeah.
Why don't you come after me, tough guy, at Bro Team Kill?
Bro Team Pill.
Bro Team Pill.
Put it in the chat.
Bro Team Pill. So no, I'm gonna tweet him.
I'm sure.
If you want, but
yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah. Okay. Then
I mean, he's been spreading psychotic bullshit all day. He's been spreading this like it was the truth. Anyway.
Big pussy. All right, I just tweeted that. Come after me, fucker. What an asshole.
So look, here's the next. Yeah, he is an asshole. There's no doubt. He's been going at me for months, and now he's using this to further his feud. And it's one thing to go at me, but you start saying shit about Nora, you start saying shit about Shannon and Margaret. It's like, why?
Here's the thing. Like we've been discussing in the chat, like a lot of the mean jokes, a lot of the morbid jokes and stuff, weren't even made by like there was a joke I'd made. It should have been Andrew Gleason instead of Lily. I said that in the chat, and that was a joke. Somebody tweets at Shannon, why do you want Andrew Gleason to kill himself? It was a joke, and B, she hadn't even said it, but that's the thing. Like we've been talking in the chat, they haven't gone after any of us. Like they're basically only tweeting at Shannon and Margaret, and I guess Ralph too, because they've got to hate on for him. But
yeah, it's I'm gonna tweet this out again. Okay, so let's go to the next section, and we'll go back through. This is just a few examples. Ethan announces Milo does not care for the Gamergate community. This appears to be referring to this quote, which in context seems to be about Lily's death. And then it says, this guy assumes Nero didn't see it. Not much he misses. And it's not me speaking for him at all. I'm just saying this guy's got eyes everywhere. He's very perceptive on his own. He probably saw it on his own. It's not like, dude's a supernatural talent, a fucking genius, brain's, fast as fuck. He catches pretty much everything. And if he doesn't catch it, somebody tells him about it. So that's what I meant. And no, I wasn't talking about. It was some story. I don't know. I have to look at the full thing. Like I said, it was selectively leaked, and so it's totally out of context. Every single thing. I don't know that it was about Lily's death, but it was about some bit of news that came out. And if somebody had tweeted something critically at Nero, and I was like, oh, he's assuming he didn't see it. I'm pretty sure he probably did. Anyway. Then somebody else tried to say, I don't even know. This was something about Milo sending dead animal photos to Lauren Southern. This was before the hedgehog even died. They were just fucking around. Like, they had a bit about it on stream, laughing about it.
They were joking about that because they did a fundraiser, and if they raised $100,000, Milo said Lauren had to kill Pickles and eat him.
Yeah, that was just
It was a joke.
That's what I'm saying. It was a total joke, and they try to lay it out like, I don't know.
These people hate hedgehogs. They're monsters.
And, you look at a lot of these people, like Broti. He does mean jokes all the time. That's his thing. But they all act super sensitive suddenly.
Oh, he just tweeted me back. All caps. Ah, ha, 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 ha. So good. Thank you.
That sounds about like his intellectual capacity, yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, I called him out time after time. We will look at his in just a bit. I'm going to try not to go too long on this. I guess it's hard not to explain it, though. Let me read. I'll just finish this dude's comment, then we'll look at the actual thing. How about you don't self-identify with gibberish cooked up by shills and trolls? Anyone who uses the term on V or the GG board on full chain is immediately assumed to be a shill. It's purely the domain of unsubtle, no-effort trolls/shills who are likely to end up banned after they start spamming whatever, and they were spamming this all throughout the morning. On KA, they're downvoted instead, but it's once again the domain of the trolls and shills who occasionally make topics or shit up threads. Fact, check your sources. Don't take universally hated trolls seriously, and stop being pointlessly aggressive in a way that's going to get people to not take you seriously and just downvote your post no matter what you have to say. Now, the thing is, people kept trying to blame. There were some known trolls in this chat. They're not the ones who leaked it. I know who did it. I know who was responsible for it. It wasn't them. That's another thing. People are like, they're trolls. They're trolls. Well, I've come to find out they actually got more honor than 95% of the people I've known throughout the time I've been in Gamergate. I just got stabbed in the back by my closest associate, and that wasn't even... That was just one of the betrayals in the last week. Another fucking closest associate, probably one of my top 5 ones, stabbed me in the back too. So it's
that sucks, Ralph. I mean, I know you're being brave here, but you know what? That sucks. That really does.
It does. I mean, it's hard. You're just like, fuck. It's hard to... I don't know. I'm not quitting. I don't give a fuck. If I have to start a new site, goddamn it, I will. But I don't know. It weighs on you, and it's just like a drag. It's not fun. You know what I mean? And I understand people like Ralph's complaining. He's crying. He's one of the meanest son of a bitches there is. That's true. But when your own friends are stabbing you in the back for no apparent reason, it's painful. And that's all I can say. I mean, no, you shouldn't feel sorry for me. The people I got mad about earlier was dragging my friends through the mud. It's like, you don't owe me anything. But you dragging those other people through the mud. You're just saying there's convicted pedophile in our chat with no proof whatsoever. And you're supposed to just be able to get away with that because it's funny. Because Ralph's upset, that makes it okay. That makes it funny. And it's all good to just make up shit. Like, what kind of shit is that? Talk about unethical. I can't think of anything more unethical.
It's like arguing with feminists, though. Like, wow, you are just wasting your time.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
and you know
pretty
what?
much.
And you know what? The pedo accusation. We got pedo in our chat. It reminds me a lot of the shit getting flung at. You know, you see people saying that George Eliot's an abuser. You know, they'll just cite anonymous sources, and it's kind of the same thing we're seeing there. You ask for proof, and then they they'll say, well, the fact that you asked for proof proves that you're salty or whatever.
No, it's just like you just made a very serious claim. You weren't trolling about my height, which was a lie too, but okay, whatever, it's my height, it's funny. I was playing into it with the video. They're like, Ralph's mad. No, I thought this shit was funny. You're not talking about my height. You're not making up funny jokes about my whatever, physique, whatever you want to make up. You're talking about that I'm hanging with convicted pedophiles. You're saying my girlfriend's uploading child porn. It's like, what the fuck? That's not trolling. There's nothing funny about that. Prove what the fuck you're saying or get the fuck out. Retract your statement. That's my opinion on it. This is by far, they're all like this though. That's the thing.
Yeah, you mentioned George Eliot though, and I think that's a really interesting case that it's important to discuss because this is in Canada. We don't have precedent law in Canada. Judges are not obliged to follow particular rulings. They can cite them, but they don't have to. So basically, the judge threw the case against George Eliot out against because he said there was no reasonable person would think these women felt genuinely intimidated or harassed for any rational reason. But you should be aware that in New York, the judge made the opposite decision, that a woman on Facebook who was having an argument with her ex-husband and his family tagged her sister-in-law in a Facebook post, and the courts took that as exactly equivalent to a phone call, to a letter, to a direct confrontation. So American courts have found exactly the opposite of what Canadian courts have found. That's important for anyone who uses Twitter because we normally assume if you start with an at the Ralph retort, that's a direct mention. It's a direct tweet, right? A DT. But if I say something like, wow, what a fucking loser at the Ralph retort is, the courts have said that that is exactly equivalent to a direct tweet. It's exactly the same as calling him on the phone and saying that. It's come hard on the heels, and everyone's very, very familiar. I'm going to put this in the lower bar here, Ralph. But everyone's very familiar with the George Eliot case, but I'm not sure they're familiar with the fact that it's Canadian. It has no bearing on U.S. law, and the U.S. courts have found exactly the opposite. So you are heading into dangerous territory.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Figuring out what this is going to constitute.
Before we get further into the bogus log, I do want to say, while Goose was talking about this the other day, I know people were happy he won, and it was great, because we all feared that he might not, and I'm glad, I'm very happy that he did. I was on a stream, I helped raise money for it personally. I mean, it wasn't my stream by any means, I just came on for a couple hours and did my thing, sang a song. It was all good, I had fun doing it, I was happy to help, and it was great. Like I said, it was great that he got off on it and got cleared, but that's a defensive win. I mean, he lost. He was $100,000 in debt. I mean, it's 4 years banned from the internet. It's hard to celebrate something like that. It's not like they're not going to try again. So,
yeah, a real win would be that there's consequences for the people who did that to him.
Yeah, and then you have somebody like Liana Kay saying, "Oh, well, there's consequences for your speech," and basically saying he deserved to be that far in debt. Like, bitch, what are you talking about? I don't know. That's just mind-boggling. And Milo rightfully took a shot because it was total bullshit. So, anyway, by the way, I just saw the professor tweet out, "No, Ivy is a dude, 100%. We will get into that on my site. There's just no doubt. It's 100% dude." So, Steve Polk type situation. And I will talk about that more as well. Although Jade Fox and Cindy knew he was a dude, but he did catfish some pics out of some other people who didn't know. So, anyway, do you have anything you want to say? Another couple things about Greg Elliott, Janet, so we don't have it all total drama.
No, I'm like really, really glad that he won, and I'm really glad that the right to be vulgar on Twitter is protected, because I'd be so fucked if it wasn't.
No doubt about it, and so would I. But like I was saying earlier, it's different between being vulgar and just flat out libelous statements. Like somebody said, "Well, who's the pedo?" I don't know who it is. He said that he knows, and he's not going to say. Well, you're just putting a statement out there without any proof on Twitter, which is a public platform. You might as well be hollering out in the street. It's even more potent than that, because thousands of people are going to see it, and it's up forever unless you delete it.
So I would say don't ever tag anyone unless you're sure that they're okay with it. Just mention it. Now, first of all, that protects you from this legal decision that's been made that tagging someone is equivalent to calling them. Second of all, it forces them to reveal their hand. If you say, like, "Oh, at Femme Frequency is reducing her, her videos to 5 minutes because, that's as long as she can keep up with stupid for at this point." You have to leave out the at Femme Freak. Leave it out. Don't put it anywhere in the tweet. Just say Anita Sarkeesian. That forces her to go into the Twitter search engine and search for her own name to find that tweet. You have to take active, aggressive steps to find any tweet in which you are mentioned but not tagged in.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's they were searching it out. I mean, it's totally, yeah, exactly.
So you want to talk about Zoe, you want to talk about Anita, you want to talk about Leanna, never tag them. Force them to prove that they go and stalk their own mentions. Like, they're looking for trouble. And you know what they say about people who go looking for trouble?
You're going to find it.
That's right. That's right. But I think until this all falls out, never ever tag. Write their names. That's fine. You can write ZQ or write Zoe Quinn. Never ever tag them unless you're absolutely sure that they're cool with it.
By the way, Bro Team's still spewing off and saying that I have ties to Milo's fund that he's launched and all this. I have zero ties to that fund. Breitbart is their own entity. They don't sponsor the Ralph Retort. I don't get paid. I just have a lot of admiration for Milo. Every single thing that was leaked is on me. Like, that has nothing to do with Milo. And I definitely didn't have anything to do with the fund at all.
No, Ralph, that is not the approach. Here's what you say. Fucking right. I own them. I own those bitches. They bow. I snap my fingers. They say, "Yes, sir, what can I do?"
They're just trying to create heat between me and him, and that's just...
Blow it up.
No, I'm never going to... No, Milo is... I have nothing to do with that. I don't work for Breitbart. I don't get paid by Breitbart. I went to dinner with Milo, talked to him a few times.
I'm seeing the tweet you're talking about now.
Yeah, he's getting in trouble with Milo for bringing up awkward connections to his white people fund. I don't have any connections to his white people fund.
I was gonna say, is there any connection
to
Milo's? No, I know that. I'm saying, is there any possible connection to Milo's white people fund? It's going to be more controversial than the fund itself.
It's me.
Come on, how stupid can he get?
I'm taking the opportunity to say that I am personally financing my white people fund. This is me. I've been, what's a good document? I'm a fucking hooker on the side, and I've used all the money to set up the white people fund.
Yep, the cat's out of the bag.
It's out of the bag. It's out of the bag. Come at me, bro. Breitbart, Milo, all of a sudden, his emails. Is it true that you're accepting the proceeds of prostitution? Never underestimate how stupid these assholes are.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, he's threatening to sue over a tweet. Well, it's a tweet saying I'm hanging out with pedophiles with zero proof behind it. Fuck you. I mean, that's not. It's not funny. Like, oh, he's a tweet. He's getting triggered. You're saying I'm hanging out with pedos with no proof whatsoever, just making shit up. And you can't just put a claim out there like that without some type of proof. I couldn't get away with that on my site. I can tell you that right now. Oh, so and so. What if I don't like Leona K? What if I said we saw some leak and I was like, oh, that leak, that chat's got pedos all through it, but I can't tell you anything about it.
Closet members of KKK and then just post pictures of people in hoods and say, look, this is Leanna.
Yeah, or I just be like, oh, somebody in there killed a kid, and just say it, and just be like, well, I can't tell you who it is, or that's for you to find out. It's like, no, you can't put something out there like that.
You can't. That's disgusting.
And if you have the proof, by all means, I want to know. Of course, it's total bullshit anyway, just some shit he made up. But I don't know. Anyway,
I guess you could say that he's protecting the identities of known pedophiles.
Yeah, he's sheltering pedophiles, literally.
Pedophiles,
You know, and that's not surprising since these same people got me taken down over reporting on Sarah Nyberg. So, maybe they have a little something to talk about themselves. I don't know, but
I hate the fact that you call him Sarah, because you know what? That's just pure and utter courtesy. For you, John Flint, to call yourself Sarah Nyberg, I will acknowledge that courtesy. But once you openly and unapologetically admit to wanting to fuck your 8-year-old cousin, you lose all rights to courtesy. Fuck you.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
Yeah, that's pretty much my opinion.
Yeah, we've had knockdown, drag-out fights about that, too. And it's just like, dude, you're fucking defending a pedophile on some, bullshit. Anyway. Yeah. So here's a section that said Ethan's all. I like how they call me Ethan, which I don't mind. It's right there at the top of my site. I guess they think it triggers me. That is my actual name, Ethan Ralph. And if you'd like to call me Ethan, go ahead. Most people just find it easier to say Ralph, I guess, because it's one syllable and just it's catchier. But I don't really care. And my moniker is the Ralph or whatever. So, but I don't care. You can call me Ethan. Feel free. So Ethan's alt-right political ideology, and then they got this section. I know him pretty well, so let me know. Wouldn't be the first time someone didn't like me. Found out the other week that someone I've never spoken to has beef with me. I tried getting the guy to speak up, and this is somebody else. This is somebody else in the chat. He's just saying that he understands this thing I'm going with. A small glimpse into your world, I'm sure. And this is him talking again. Wouldn't be the first time someone didn't like me. See, this leak is just bizarre. That's the same quote over and over.
They say alt-right over and over and over again, and that's the new panic.
So these are just repeated quotes, back to back.
Alt-right is for people who have no idea what the difference between libertarianism, conservatism.
Okay, let me read the rest. You can make a decision if you think I'm alt-right.
I said a new boogeyman.
It's bullshit. Don't get me wrong.
Progressive boogeyman.
Said, yeah, that shit happens. I do think some people on the harder side that I'm on see you talking to certain people and they're like, that guy's soft or whatever. I see it as what it is. You're just conversing with everyone, trying to understand all sides. So I get it. Doesn't bother me. That's a message of inclusion. Right. That's what are they talking about? I didn't say anything about alt-right.
Right. Half of these titles don't have anything to do with the tweets that happen underneath them. It's just odd.
I mean, I like a lot of things that's going on with alt-right. I like the Trump candidacy, if you want to call him alt-right. I'm not alt-right, though. I'm an independent, and I used to be very liberal. I've written about this. I consider myself a political independent now. I don't fit neatly into any category. I have some liberal positions, but over the last couple of years, I've lost some of my feeling, just about all of it, for the liberal establishment. The Democratic Party is just totally fucked, and I don't like the Republican Party either. If you want to know the truth about it, that's why Donald Trump appeals to me so much, because he's kind of his own man. I don't feel like he's gonna be hampered by party politics or have to stick to this or stick to that. When he comes into Washington, if he makes it that far, he's going to be ready to cut deals. He's Donald Trump. So that's one of the things that draws me to him. And then this next one's attacking women in Gamergate. And well, I mean, these are just, they happen to be women that I've had problems with. Do you know how many men I've had problems with? Bro Team Pill, we were talking about him just a minute ago. He's saying I'm hanging with pedos. So, no, it has nothing to do with me just attacking women. I mean, I will attack a woman. It's not like, milady, I can't say anything to you now. I mean, maybe that's what they mean. I'm not sure. So that section's long. Bullying Tanis. No, we're just talking about somebody in chat, and then I tweeted something at them because a few days earlier I'd seen them trashing me, and they were on Twitter whining, poor me, poor Tanis, getting all the press and shit again. I tweeted something at them because I didn't like what they said the other day. It's not bullying. That's response.
That's the thing. We're like sitting there talking about Tanis in private chat. Nobody even suggested going at her.
I was the only one that even said anything.
Yeah,
And it didn't get picked up. No, nobody cared. Like, it was just a tweet. Nobody paid attention to it. No, it wasn't like the chat went and jumped on it. Now we're sitting there in the chat laughing about it because she's crying and whining every single day about some dumb shit. And this is just a private chat. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
I mean, bullying. We're having a private conversation about somebody that's always my ex left me and just talks about this shit every single day. Like, I don't know. You'd have to know the feed, Janet, to understand. But that's not bullying. That was all in private, and I made one tweet.
You can read the feed for about 5 minutes, and you'll you get the picture.
Well, it just doesn't bear anything to reality. And then they're saying going after 8chan and Acid Man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said like one. You said that I think you said the Acid Man was incompetent.
No, I didn't say anything in this section.
Or somebody said it.
Christy Jr. is talking about him, and Armstrong doesn't even say anything.
That's right.
Ninja doesn't even say anything. Christy Jr. is the only one saying Acid Cuck's and incompetent. So that's just his opinion being expressed in private. How is that going after somebody? It's not. Mock Suicide Charity. We did sit there and kind of have fun with that because I thought it was funny that Paolo, the guy who's I am Gamergate, had a fucking vicious meltdown on YouTube while he had his kid in the room. Just disgusting and total shammering. Not only that, during that meltdown, he outed my relationship with Nora that was told to him in private and had not been public knowledge to them until that point. And so, yeah, I was making fun of it because I always saw, the charities are, unless you really get a good charity, most of them are a joke anyway. Only 25 to 45%, if that. 45 is very high. Even go to the real cause. It's more just about making yourself feel good. You want to know what you could do? If you want to help with suicide, go find a depressed person and spend some time with them, or try to do something for a family member who's down, or go volunteer at a homeless shelter.
Well, here's the thing. There's nothing that would have stopped anybody at any point from donating to suicide hotlines.
But you know what?
At any point, the whole thing is just.
People would rather write a check. People rather write a check and be like, "Oh, I did something for suicide." No, you didn't really. I mean,
even if they did, they didn't need to. That was all about
I mean, you sent a few bucks. Why don't you go volunteer your time? Oh, I don't have the time. Well, I mean, then don't delude yourself into thinking you're really doing something. Profiteering. I haven't even seen this section. No, it's not profiteering. Shannon's just talking about how she has a shop set up. She's talking about it in chat with her friends.
Mm-hmm.
How is that profiteering? I mean, she's trying to make money. I guess everybody's profiteering then. That has a voice and trying to make a living. I mean, if you think there's a problem with that, that's on you.
A crippled woman is trying to be productive and do something.
And the way they've dragged her,
that's just terrible,
huh? Just unreal because she wrote the call.
I hope we're not talking about Shannon. She
yeah.
gets very
upset. They're talking about Shannon. Yeah, they go after.
Call the cripple. She gets really upset.
They go after her a lot.
Shannon does not get it.
Yeah, she doesn't. That's what I was like.
She makes fun of herself all the time. Yeah, they're accusing her of profiteering and.
No, because she got a stair lift. They raised some money, and she. Mm-hmm. I mean, I say they. Somebody's like, "Why didn't they give me any money?" It's like, why didn't you start your fundraiser then, you dumb fuck? That's probably why you didn't get any money. You don't just sit on your ass. She went out and fucking fundraised and got the word out and got people on board. They didn't just give her that money. She fucking worked for that shit. It's like, oh, I'm handicapped. They didn't give me my money for my batteries in my chair. Well, you didn't start a fundraiser, you fucker. I mean,
there's been a lot of people recently. You won't believe this.
Go ahead.
There's been a number of people saying that they regret that they ever gave money to Shannon for her stair lift. Because she disagrees with them on something, or she was in this chat. They're actually that petty.
Oh my God! Well, she's on Skype right now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I just see her now. Yeah.
Bring her in.
Perfect timing. Every once in a while.
Shannon is here.
Pick it up. we'll get her in here sooner or later. I might have to talk. I might have to do another section.
Just to wheel around the mess in her house that her kid made. She's stuck on a Lego.
I think she's here. Are you here, Shannon? Well,
she'll be joining us, but that's.
I'll hang up and you'll still be in the group. So just oh shit, I actually just hung up on everybody, but since it's Skype, I can just call them back. You gotta love Skype. If I'd done that on Google Hangouts, that would have been a disaster. That
would have been the end of it. Huh?
Yeah, that would have been the end of the stream.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know. Shannon, we'll try to get her in there. I think she'll figure it out.
You know, people are kind of doing the same thing to me, which I think is interesting. I put up a video on YouTube talking about why I support Donald Trump and asking men to vote on the basis of their gender. I do say vote Trump, but my argument is that men need to vote on the basis of their gender because we're teetering close to a land war. And guess who's going to pay the price for that? It's men. It's not women.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can, dear. Why don't you just weigh in? Since we were just talking about you, and then let Janet.
I didn't hear what you guys were saying.
Well, let Janet finish what you were saying about men should vote their conscience and their own for themselves.
They should vote on the basis of gender, not their political affiliations, not their economic ideologies. Vote on the basis of your gender. Vote for the person least likely to provoke a land war, because it's men who are going to have to spill blood if it's a land war. And so I have all kinds of people all over social media saying, you know, I really like you and I agree with 90% of what you say, but I'm not going to listen to you anymore because you said this about Trump. Like, really? So we can agree on 90%, but because you don't like what I have to say about one thing, you're no longer going to listen to anything I have to say. I think that's ridiculous. If you're looking for people in life that you agree with 100% on every single issue, you're going to be lonely. Because the only person you're going to find is in the mirror.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that people are willing to do this. Like, oh, I disagree with you on this one point, therefore everything you say is invalid.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I agree with what you're saying, and also others make that appeal the other way around. So why is it not fair if you flip it? So, Shannon, we were just talking about, you wrote an article for my site 2 or 3 days ago. The days are running together now, and
it came out yesterday.
Yeah, see, like, I've been up for so long, and just whatever.
I know.
And so people really went at you like, I wish I'd not spread this around, or I wish I could get my money back, or she's profiting, or what a dirty
do you
bastard.
Do you want me to read my article?
If you'd like, yeah.
Okay, let me pull it up. Which will take me like 2 seconds. But yeah, it's been a hell of a 24 hours over here. I actually was gone all day with my family, which is why I'm late. Seeing them for Christmas, because they moved their Christmas to, this part of the month.
Well, if they're Ukrainian, they didn't move it. That's when it is.
Oh, no, it's because, there's so much family all over the place. It's just better to get together later.
They're appropriating Ukrainian culture, aren't they?
It's true. But so I've missed pretty much everything that's been said about me today.
Oh, boy, you missed a lot.
Have you read
it's probably
you read
the log?
A
good thing.
They went at you in their comments on the leaked log a fair amount.
Pardon?
I said they went at you in the comments on the leaked log that so we're going through now.
Yeah, so read your article if you'd like.
Okay. So, The Line in the Sand by Liberal Lunacy Shannon. Disclaimer. I will not name names in this piece as I don't know the names of everyone involved, and I feel it would be unethical to act as if I did. All opinions expressed herein are my own and do not necessarily reflect those of the owner of this site or his staff. The past few weeks have been a sad state of affairs. The fractures in Gamergate, the former #consumer revolt, now Hugbox echo chamber, have become gaping chasms. a girl tied to Gamergate and Not Your Shield decided it would be a good idea to kill herself. The effects of this have been far-reaching. After the event, many people clinging on to the small amount of fame garnered through the hashtag movement took it upon themselves to use the suicide as a possible platform to gain more attention and notoriety. When these attempts were called out publicly on this website, not even by the owner of said site, a veritable torrent of butthurt began. After the event in question, I didn't really react publicly, as I knew my opinion would be unpopular. Seeing as now I'm writing on a site that is unpopular with these people anyway, I will now express them. I find it hard to have sympathy for anyone who chooses to commit suicide, especially by jumping in front of a train. Not only did she have no regard for the people she knew personally that would be hurt, as in her friends, family, and boyfriend, but she also had no regard for the trauma she most likely caused for the poor train conductor, bystanders who saw the event, EMS, fire, and police crews called to the scene, cleanup crews that had to clean her remains from the train and tracks, and coroners who had to take the rest of her to the morgue. Plus, I figure she got what she wanted out of the deal. She's dead. Now, in the aftermath of people being called out for their perceived grave-standing, they and others who claimed to steadfastly stand for ethics above all else decided to do something I find very unethical. They went after the livelihood of the man who owns this site, not by attacking articles that they found unethical, but by reporting to AdSense an article they knew would be an easy target. An article bringing to light facts about a pedophile. In doing so, they showed they think it's okay to take down stories that are justified in order to get revenge over something that hurt their feelings. Using these tactics and possibly having an expose about a pedophile deleted, they are indirectly helping said pedophile because they don't like the person who owns this site or the people who write for it. Well, helping a pedophile is the absolute last straw for me. I have tried very hard for a long time to be neutral between the two factions that Gamergate seems to have splintered into. Now that the issue has been pushed, and this seems to be the line in the sand that these people have drawn, I know which side I will, figuratively, stand on. I cannot abide directly or indirectly helping someone who would gleefully prey on children. If this is where we are now, where feelings are more important than justice and truth and supersede any modicum of ethical standards on their part, regardless of their feelings about the writers or owner of this blog website, we are no better than what we set out to fight against a year and a half ago. I know I will get plenty of hate for writing this, and I am prepared for that. I don't mind, though. I know I will sleep at night with my conscience clear. How many people who ended up aiding a predator can say the same?
See, I love the article, but
that's my piece.
They immediately went at you. Like you said, you could have wrote anything, and they would have went at you. You saw how they did me with these leaks, and we'll talk about that.
I could have written, I love puppies all over, over and over again, and I still would have gotten.
That's exactly correct.
Yeah.
Give me your thoughts on how they turned on you. And I don't say they is definitely a certain group of people, but it's not everybody. Not everybody got involved. Matter of fact, some people were sickened to see the way they did it. But just your thoughts.
Well, I was expecting to get some, amount of hate, obviously. I mean, I even said that in the article. But it got to the point, it got really, really, really heated last night. And a lot of that was coming from Gleason, who put up a tweet saying something to the effect of, if I had donated to Shannon or Liberal Lunacy for a stair lift, I'd be demanding a refund right now. And that started a trend of a lot of people, you know, fuck you, I paid for your stair lift. And I'm thinking, really, the whole thing? Just you? You know?
And let me bring up what I said. You did a lot of work to get this. You didn't just say, please give me monies. You did a lot of work to get it out there. It wasn't like, you know what I mean? Like somebody, like I said, this dude is also a piece of shit. It has nothing to do with his disability, just a piece of shit. And he's like, oh, I don't have batteries for my wheelchair, and nobody gave me money. Well, you didn't start a fundraiser. You didn't put it out there. You didn't pimp it. You didn't get people on board. You didn't
Not
do
only
anything.
that, but large amounts of the money came from my friends and family in real life. You know, I'd say out of the $5,000, because it was $5,000. Out of the $5,000, I'd say probably $2,000 probably came from Gamergate people. Yes. And the rest was probably friends and family.
Right. I mean, you produce content, you know, you work hard.
Well, nobody made them give money to you.
I've never set up a Patreon, and people are saying I was only in Gamergate to get the stair lift, and I'm thinking, why the fuck did I stay this long then after it's been bought?
You know what you use some saran wrap, like put some saran or like wax paper down, take a huge steaming dump on your lip and tweet it to them.
Yeah. But, you know, I never wanted to ask for money for anything in the first place. That's why I've never set up a Patreon. I've never acted like, you know, oh, I'm such a victim, please help me, you know. And I never made it a, you know, you must donate to me, how dare you, or whatever. You know, it was, if you want to, you can. And, you know, now it's being thrown in my face, and it's like, Jesus, this is why I didn't want to ask for help in the first place. And that's pretty sad that people feel like they can't ask for help when they genuinely need it, because people like this will just smash it in their face. It's like, I'll think twice about ever asking for help about anything again in my life.
But why? I mean, I didn't understand that. It's almost like you're internalizing a sense of guilt that shouldn't be there. They gave you money. That doesn't give them the right to dictate what you fucking think. It gives them no right to anything of any kind. Like, I'm sorry, if they had donated the lift or money for the lift to you and now they disagree with your ideas, the correct response is go fuck yourself. You don't tell me what to think. Buying me a lift gives you absolutely zero authority over my life.
Exactly. They don't own you now. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's insanely entitled to think that, oh, I gave you $25 towards your lift. Now you are obliged to think what I tell you to think. Hey, how about you go fuck yourself?
Well, right. And the Deuce was kind of asking me when he was IMing me earlier when I was on my way home to kind of give the backstory of the otter thing. Is that what you want me to do?
Yeah, talk about it.
Yeah, yes, please.
Yeah. Might as well.
Okay. I met Otter through the Honey Badgers.
Otter, you mean Andrew Gleason, grown man, 30-something years old. He's not a kid, right? Yeah, Kathy Young. He's a kid. He's a fat, overgrown son of a bitch. Not that I'm skinny, but yeah, he's not a kid. Please continue.
But so I met him through the Honey Badgers and all that. Which, for the record, I have no issue with the Honey Badgers. You know, I love all of them, and I'm still good friends with them. They have not, you know, decided to sever ties with me over this whatsoever, and I don't want their names dragged through the mud at all. So that's a disclaimer, okay? But he was, you know, I guess on the fringes of all that. And, you know, I had become friends with Otter. I'm sorry, I keep calling him that, just... That's all I
Andrew
ever knew
Gleason. He's not. He's got a folder full of otter pictures. We call him the otters. That's what we were calling in the chat, which is perfect for him, by the way. But yes.
Yeah. So I met Andrew, and I became friends with him. You know, it was all pleasant and everything. We were on a few streams together for the honey badgers, and I Skype called him once. We talked, because as you guys know, at least Ralph does, I like to go, sit on my porch and smoke copious amounts of cigarettes while being on Skype. So, I did that once, and it was a very one-sided conversation. He wasn't saying much at all, but, we did have a pleasant conversation about, how he hates Autism Speaks, actually, and stuff like that. And so, I didn't think anything of it. We'd talk every once in a while on Twitter and stuff. But then, God, when did it happen, Ralph, that you stumbled onto his stream or whatever?
Okay, well, I'll tell you what happened. We had got into it over my feud with Margaret Jill, and he said, like, both of us were shit or whatever, and I was like, dude, you literally living a gimmick like you're a fucking stuffed animal, and you tweet out a bunch of otter pics and do a gay-ass voice. I've been putting fucking blood, sweat, and tears in this. You sit on Twitter jacking off with your fucking autistic, nasty-looking self, tweeting out photos, and you don't do shit, but sit there and just spurg out all day.
So, Janet, just for some background, what Otter does is he's got a YouTube channel
that has nobody pays. Yeah,
where he wears like an otter hand puppet and talks in this like high-pitched, annoying voice.
Yeah, he does like the Amazon Lollipop Guild. Like, he's like, "Hi everybody, let's be friends."
Oh, that's better. That's better than he does it. See, Shannon could have your job very easily. That's what
he goes
saying.
On Twitter.
And I'm a real cripple too.
He goes around on Twitter like claiming to hug people. He like Twitter hugs people and then
hugs. Hey, hug patrol. Hugs.
The kind of thing you can tell is really disingenuous kind of thing. And then he's got a Amazon wish list where he begs for people to buy him stuff, which mostly consists of dildos for some reason. So
and butt plugs.
So anyway, he's got mental problems, and we got into it one day. We ended up blocking each other. He did block me first, and I don't care. It doesn't even matter. Block's a block on Twitter. You can hear my cat meow. I'm about to go take care of that in a sec. But meow, yeah, King Tut. Thank you, sir. But so we got in.
King Tut and my rabbit Gordon Ramsays should hang out.
We're gonna have to do that.
We should. We should cool. Ship them.
So, we got into it. The way he is, he just obsesses about something forever and ever. Like, not just talking about in private, like literally subtweet me daily, fucking with shit.
Oh,
one day,
and
he's done it to Oliver Campbell. He's done it to Sargon of Akkad. It's nothing new. But he really got pissed off at me, I guess because I told him to fuck off, and I didn't care about his feelings. Just leave me the fuck alone. You're worthless anyway, and I don't like you. And because that's just how I am. I don't feel the need to mince words with a piece of shit like that. So, who I feel like's fake, and he's trying to take advantage of whatever thing he thinks, people think he has, and he's not. He's a grown man acting crazy. Yeah, exactly. You're not missing anything. So,
right.
Then one day I saw him on Twitter, and he's just like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Ralph kills himself one day soon. And he started talking about me killing myself. I was like, what the fuck is this dude really? Is he really saying this? So, I had a couple beers or whatever. I saw he was streaming. He had like his usual.
By the way, I think you should pull up his wish list and just put it up. For
no,
people.
we can't.
I don't know. That's probably going to get this thing
we can't show that.
Taken down.
We can't show that. His wish list is full of butt plugs and dildos, which is a little out there.
Like hundreds of them, right?
Yeah. So.
It's like 9-inch, 8-inch dildos. So he's a bit of a size queen.
Yep. So anyway, I saw that. I wasn't too happy. So when I saw his stream come up, I had a couple drinks in me. I went in there and I was just like, "You're a piece of shit. Nobody cares about you." I was like, "You're gonna die alone." I don't even know if I suggested he kill himself or not, but basically he had already started it in my mind with what he was saying on Twitter.
Right, and then he brought my name into it.
Yeah, he's like, Shannon won't like you saying that. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I don't. That's not how I roll, and I don't do that with anybody else either. If Deuce was to go off on somebody, or you were to go off on somebody, I'd just be like, Ralph didn't like that. He's not going to talk to you anymore. That's not. Then good. You don't need to talk to me then.
Well,
if you
and
like
then
that.
So I had no idea any of this had happened until the next day, and I get a message from Andrew saying, hey, I just, I wanted to tell you what happened. I apologize in advance, you know, for any trouble I cause, because, you know, Ralph was being mean to me, so I brought your name into it. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? What? Like, dude, I was in bed. What the fuck are you talking about? And so, of course, immediately I ammed Ralph, and I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, oh, some stupid shit. I don't fucking know. You know? And I find it interesting that he tried to bring me into the feud immediately. And so I told him from the start I would not take sides in this shit. I'm not doing it, you know? I'm not going to be a child and, you know, oh, well, you can't be friends with them. You can't, no, fuck that. And so this went on for a while, you know, him trying to get me to pick sides. He ended up coming on when Ralph was on my channel. We were doing a stream. And, you know, Otters, you can listen to the audio. It's right there of him coming into the chat and talking shit and everything like that. And so, you know, he kept trying to get me to take sides, and I was just not doing it. And so the whole Cult of Vivian thing at the time was she's, you know, trying to claim that favoriting and, because at the time it was before the switch, but favoriting and retweeting is not in any way, shape, or form showing support for that tweet. Okay? And, you know, obviously we all know it is. And so Andrew said something to me about that, like trying to joke, and he's like, oh, just don't favorite or you know, retweet, because, you know, then that means you support it. Ha ha ha. No, it doesn't. And I was like, actually, yeah, it does. You know, a lot of the time, if you favorite or retweet something, it's in support of that tweet. And right then, he puts up something on his channel, or on his Twitter, and he's like, you know, I'm so mad right now. I can't even stream. I'm just going to go walk my dog. And I come back later, and he blocked me. So he forced me to choose a side in all this. I did not treat him badly. I did not, you know, act as if, you know, I was choosing sides. You can ask Ralph how many times I said, you know, okay, whatever, but, you know, I'm not taking sides in this. You guys are both my friends. You know? So now he's, you know, spurging out, whatever, saying that I treated him badly and I chose Ralph over him and all of this, when that's definitely not the case of what happened.
Why do you give a fuck what he thinks?
Oh, I don't. I'm just setting the record straight.
Yeah, because that's got a lot to do with this. That's, you know, that's related to these logs and what's in them and why they're getting posted. And basically the narrative that he has, you know, taken as a blanket and wrapped around himself. You know, I've seen him saying, you know, oh, I can see why Shannon wanted me dead, and I'm like, what?
What?
And here's the thing, Shannon didn't even. There's a joke. I made a joke later in these logs about that, and he attributes it to Shannon. Because that's who he wants to go after. That's who he wants to go after.
Right, and I think it's because right under your joke, I said that would be a great idea, and I said that to Junior Christie, and I was talking to him about like him helping me with something.
Right. Well, that's the thing. These things were edited in a
very specific way.
I wouldn't say they're edited, but they cut off and cut in at specific times and put misleading headers on. Maybe we should get to the most misleading one, which Ralph has on screen right here.
Yeah, that's correct.
I can't see anything.
What can actually happen here?
Just bring up the stream, Shannon, if you're turn off the sound on it.
Yeah, I already have it on my phone. I'm just trying to read it.
Oh, okay. They
said, did Nora upload child porn of her 6-year-old sister? Nora is, of course, co-host Nora. I'm romantically involved with her. She's a great person. One of the nicest people you could ever meet. Definitely too nice to be with me. Too good to be with me. I'm batting above my average.
I was telling her last night that, you know, even when she is speaking at her most savage and cutting, she sounds so polite doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And
I think Shannon is the only person in this entire chat who didn't actually make any horrible jokes.
Yeah, well,
Really.
and they said I did. I think I made like one, and I was repeating somebody else's joke. So whatever,
Mhm.
I don't care.
That's the
I
thing,
intentionally
like, at
stayed
the
away from
time,
that because I already
I-
thought something like this could happen. But I'm going to
See,
finish this.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. I just had this pulled up for a while. Did Nora upload child porn of her 6-year-old sister? The short answer to that is no. But I'm going to go ahead and read through the log. It's just, of course, just taken out in the middle of a conversation. There's no context. They would have been better off just to dump the whole log, but...
Maybe we still should. Who knows?
well, see, the way Slack works is unless you're paying it, it automatically goes through and knocks some messages off. So I won't be able to.
Okay.
I won't be able to do that. So, and they know how it works, and they knew how it did it when they did it. So, I don't have the money. It's like fucking $12 per person. It starts racking up. So I don't have the cash. Although the group's a lot smaller now, maybe I have some credits built up. So maybe I could do a free month and try to get the whole log. We'll see. Because they give you some credits when you do. By the way, Slack's awesome. Don't let this turn you off Slack. Don't put untrustworthy people in your Slack, though. That'd be a good advice. Anyway, Wagu says, I just told her I was thirsty for her. Nora said, actually, my sister was changing her clothes, taking off her shirt. She was telling a story about her sister, a funny story about her sister, who's so cute and so hilarious. Then she stopped when the shirt was over her head like this. Actually, yeah, okay, see, it's doubled up. And Goose said, I was driving over to quench my thirst. He's talking about something totally different. Of course, they live in separate countries. He's not talking about her sister at all. And he said, and she flipped a bitch. He's talking about going to meet some bitch on his own story. And Nora's trying to tell a funny story in the middle of it. And then she said her sister, after she pulled her shirt up over the front of her body, up over her head, said that... just smiled at us and went, I'm Jesus. And her sister's a little Muslim girl. Nora's not.
Right up there it says Nora uploaded an image, shirt on head, which was not even a picture of her sister. It was a
No, it wasn't. It's some white dude.
It was a picture of some dude with a shirt over his head, and that's what they turned into.
It's some white dude with a shirt on his head. Now, the way the logs work, they don't have the pictures. It's just the name of the file, and it's shirt on head. It's not her sister, though. It's just some white dude with his shirt pulled up over his head. She was just showing the pose. And so then they said, did Nora upload child porn of her 6-year-old sister? Ivy, if I ever see your fucking ass, dude, I'm beating your fucking ass for that. I'm not even kidding, because, like, that's just blatant lie. Like, I don't even, like...
Well, I find it funny that, all these people going after you were like, and Nora are like, oh, potential pedophile. And yet they seem totally okay with taking down an article about the pedophile.
Well, these guys, I don't know. Some of them maybe are. Some of them do seem to actually be legitimately stupid enough that they think that Nora uploaded a picture of her sister because of some of these. I think know it's bullshit, and these are people trying to pretend to take the moral high ground, right? And they're spreading this bullshit around.
Yeah, and they don't care how many bodies they stand on to get up there, do they?
No, they don't. It's totally not true. She was just showing the pose. It wasn't her sister. It's a white dude. She put the picture back up earlier tonight. I don't have it with me, but it's just some white dude with his shirt pulled up over his head. And by the way, even if it was her sister, it wouldn't be child porn. That's not the definition of it. So, but it wasn't. So, and then the rest of the story, Goose talking about something else. I deleted the original tweets. I'm just parched. I don't even remember what Goose... He was off on a Goose-like tangent. Let's put it that way. Nora said, I really hope she doesn't pull this joke at school, because it might not go over as well. And then she said, our Master Ninja said, how old is your sister? And then he said, old? And then she said, she's 6, because she's a 6-year-old little girl. And so that's the story, and that's how they spun it. Knowing that it wasn't like that. Then there are some harsh jokes. I mean, some jokes about Liana K checking out. I mean, we had a harder edge.
Okay, I do go hard on Liana K, and I'll admit that. But
you look at this. Advocating
that bitch
to harass,
is the bane of my existence.
Advocating to harass Liana K. So we make jokes about Liana K, right? And then they turn that into that we're planning to harass her to try to get her to kill herself.
The only thing I can think of, like, of any sort, because I was in there for a lot of that. Because if people actually read the whole logs, they'll notice, like, for most of the Slack chat, I wasn't even in there for most of the time. And I was always getting messages from Ralph, Shannon, get in the Slack. because I was still trying to figure out the notifications on my phone, so I never got any of the notifications, so I was never in there. But with the Leanna Kay stuff, like, it was mostly someone would make a joke and be like, oh my god, you better post that or I'm going to, ha ha ha. That kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, oh, that's a great joke, I'm going to steal it if you don't post it. But that was pretty much it, as far as I remember. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody mentioned I had a picture of Cult of Vivian on my desktop. Actually, I have about 500 pictures on my desktop. If you'd like to, do they want to examine it again? Is that the problem? Hold on, maybe I can.
Hey, bro.
King of Paul, you got a lot of nerve, dude. And I see you retweeting nasty shit, and I see you coming in the chat saying nasty shit. I hope you're listening to this, motherfucker, cause be very glad that I like a certain someone, because if I didn't, I would have you as the laughingstock across the whole World Wide Web tonight, motherfucker. And you're going to push me far enough to where I'm going to go ahead and release that. So I wish you would just think about what the fuck you're doing. So that's all I'll say about that.
I wonder if they got him to verify this before they leaked it.
Oh, I got verification on it too. Just be glad I like the person that it would end up fucking over. Because I don't like you, motherfucker. Anyway, that's enough. That's enough on that. I guess we talked about it enough. As you can see, all the logs are bogus. I mean, the actual words aren't, but the way they frame them, the conclusions they draw are just totally outrageous. They're not backed up by the actual quotes, and the quotes themselves are just picked out of context. They're looking for ways to be able to spin, and they're not that bright. Obviously, Ivy wrote this himself. I don't know what else to say. I'm going to talk about it some more on my site. Not because I really want to, but people want to know more about Ivy, and I feel like I have to put that out there. And so that's what I'm going to do.
Oh, apparently I'm a bad person. Well, good. I'm good with that.
Yeah, who cares?
You're
a bad person, but they're saying shit about Nora uploading child porn, and they're saying we're in chats with pedos with no evidence.
Well,
maybe we should look at Bro Team's tweets a little bit. He's
tweeting me.
You want to?
I want to know what was said about me, guys. Can you kind of?
Yeah. Okay. Let's go through it. Let's go. Just go to his thing and scroll down a little bit. He went. Bro Team went at both you and Margaret. In his
Margaret's like the sweetest person alive. Whatever.
No, he also went at Milo. He tried to use it to you know what? I'll just scroll down and I'll read.
Do people not realize that Milo's like Teflon?
Yeah.
Like nothing is going to stick to him ever.
Apparently, he thinks that this is going to like pressure Milo to. He's going to be afraid of association with you guys because a dude that starts a charity for white guys is going to be intimidated by controversy, right?
Yeah, apparently that's what he thinks, but that's not going to happen. By the way, Milo, this has nothing to do with him at all. He's just dragging him in because he has some kind of beef with Milo now, and I don't understand. But
yeah,
I think people are jealous that they're not Milo.
Here's a tweet from Bro Team. He says, some of these... He's talking about people in the chat, and here he's talking about... He says, some of these were actually shocking to see part of this group. A woman who accepted charity from Gamergate to build an elevator in her home.
I didn't build an elevator.
That's
I know, but damn, I wish I had an elevator. That'd be cool.
That's Bro Team making shit up because he's got the moral high ground here.
Yeah, there it is. There's that tweet right there, by the way.
Let's see, we go up a little bit. He says, these are even mommies and daddies, and they hang out in a Slack group looking for people to harass on the internet.
Mommies and daddies? Really?
Well, because I mentioned that I'm a dad in my, he's probably actually, this is probably...
And talking about me, too.
This is probably the closest that anybody's come to going at me for this whole thing. It's all been like, I've been hearing they've been like messaging you, Shannon, and Margaret. Most of the rest of us, even though we were the ones who made most of the mean jokes and stuff, crickets. Go after the crippled ladies. But let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go up a little bit more. He says, if only all of these people brought sweaters for me to try to get me to notice them, then my jackal resurrection would be complete. Heh. So right there, he's talking about Margaret, who. So he's trying to insult Margaret for having bought his merchandise back when he wasn't being a little prick about this.
Wow, I wonder if he's gonna, insult all the people.
That's not even the tweets I want to talk about, though.
And then the next one, he goes, God, this has to be awkward for Master Milo to be associated with clear liabilities like these boat. So yeah, because
that's full of shit. We don't even have to just that.
Yeah. So there he is, going at you guys, going at Milo, just being a general shithead.
So let me go back. Basically, I had been quiet most of the day, but I keep seeing him say all this, and so I decided to go ahead and respond because I just didn't like how they're trying to drag other people into it. Scumbag Bro Team Pill baselessly accused my girlfriend of uploading child porn, and said the alleged chat had a pedo in it. Prove it, you fraud. You're known for getting drunk and yelling while playing video games. Not that I don't get drunk and yell. You don't have any real talent. You're a clown, literally. You're butthurt that I called out your freak friend Icer and never respected you. I don't know. I know how you got your Aaron leaks because I got them the same way. I won't go into that. If you had any decency, you would retract the bullshit you've lobbed at people who deserve a lot better. I don't, but they definitely do. Not only do you go after Nora, you also drag 2 other good women through the mud to help satisfy your tranny master. You're pathetic scum. And
Icer, for those who don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, what tranny master? I didn't know.
Icer. He's talking about Icer, that idiot.
Oh, yeah. Fuck that thing.
So he kept saying, I screenshot the tweet. It's like, you talk a big game, have a lot of fun spreading lob. Well, prove it, you piece of trash. And then he keeps tweeting pictures, old pictures. Yeah, that's a picture from 10, 12 years ago. I don't care.
Let's go to the tweet where he actually claims that there's a pedophile in the. Okay, there it is.
Yeah, it's right here. One of the guys in the group is also a convicted pedophile, so why is it always this? Well, who are you talking about? He won't say. It's just something he made up.
So we've been asking him all night on Twitter, if this is
if you got it, prove it. Don't talk about it, be about it. You're a liar. That's why.
How's it that he would know this and we wouldn't? But if he knows it, why won't he say it? Why is he protecting the pedophile, and why won't he say who it is? So, it's just shit he made up.
Man, the shit's still going on Twitter. Jesus.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just got one. Gamergate. Liberal Lunacy just finished her piece. I think she might have a mental disorder with the amount of stupid I just heard. Wow. Now Liberal Lunacy, the psychopath. I'm a psychopath now. Who shit on a dead girl. No, I didn't shit on a dead girl. She shit on herself when she got smacked with a train.
Look at that.
I'm sorry. I don't care anymore. And you know why? Actually, why I don't give a single fuck at this point? First off, no one fucking knew Lily or whatever her name was. Second, I just like a day before this shit happened, found out that one of my good friends, an old friend, hung himself. Okay? And I was mad as hell because this guy we had tried to help for years and years and years, and he had bipolar, and we tried to get him medicated, and he just, no, I don't want it. Even on his most lucid days, I don't want it. I don't want meds. I don't like them. Da 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 da. So what does he do? He decides to hang himself and leave his body to be found by his girlfriend that he claimed to love so much and traumatize her for the rest of her fucking life. So I have no sympathy for people who just have no regard for the people they claim to love. And people say I don't understand suicide. Bullshit. I tried to kill myself before, and good thing I failed. But I understand what it's like being in that dark place. So fuck all these people, man. I'm done.
Then they're like, oh, you're suing him for laughing at you. No, I don't care. He was laughing at me the other day. You didn't hear me talking about suing him. I'm suing him for saying I'm not even saying I'm suing him. I'm just saying I might. I mean, that's some bullshit. You're sitting there saying I'm hanging out with pedos. You're helping promote the claim. And if you look at his statement, he basically says he already agreed with the part about Nora. So
said also.
you definitely you're definitely getting close to libel, and you can laugh. You can say that to who's suing him because no, it's not about that. Laugh at me all you want, but if you start taking it to that level, and believe me, I write about shit on the line all the time, and he's pretty much crossed it. So it is what it is. People think it's funny. If you think that's funny to just spread, libelous statements with zero proof whatsoever, just pulling it out of your ass, I don't really find that humorous to me. But
I'll look at his response, and somebody asked Icer, I guess, asked him who it was. He goes, it's cool. The pedophile knows exactly who they are. So that's his answer.
Yeah, I know. A lot of evidence there.
Mm-hmm.
Janet.
Yeah.
How's it going?
I'm sorry I just went off like that, guys.
No,
Please
fine.
don't.
It's amazing what a bunch of fuck-ups half of Gamergate turned out to be.
That was incredibly honest and genuine, and there is nothing wrong when you're being honest and genuine. You're only wrong when you're being manipulative and fucking with us. And there was nothing fucking with us about that, Shannon. I'm
I've been holding that in. So
yeah, I'm sorry you were ever in that position in your life. I can't say that I relate, but that sucks. That sucks, and I kind of understand your philosophy that if that's who you are and that's what you're going to do and that's the choice you're going to make, don't take other people with you.
Right, like go do it somewhere where no one is gonna, no one you love is gonna find you. For the love of fuck, go jump off a bridge away from where you live or something.
I read this amazing story about a guy who actually did that. He jumped off the San Francisco bridge and he survived. And on the way down, the only thing through his mind was, what have I done? Oh my God, what have I done? What have I done? What have I done? I don't want this. This was the wrong choice. I think that everyone who commits suicide in that split second between life and death realizes that they've made the wrong choice. And we need to find some way to reach them and communicate that. And people who've been in that position, like yourself, you're under no obligation, of course. But I think when you share your experience, Shannon, you have the best odds of saving people like Lily. She jumped in front of a train. As the nanosecond before that train hit, I guarantee you what was in her mind was one word.
I know what was going through my mind when it happened.
No. Yeah.
When I tried to kill myself. And I'm not going to go into details, but it was, holy shit, what have I done? What the fuck have I done?
Never mind all these fucking assholes who want to politically grandstand on the body of a girl who stepped in front of a train and couldn't take it back. Just ignore them. They are so not worth your time, but there is an important conversation here. There's a really important conversation that you personally share, and I would, if you can, if it's not going to hurt you or harm you, I would encourage you to share those details. And that's not about cashing in on victim bucks. That's about trying to save people like Lily. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're about, right? We want to save lilies.
I'm with you on that.
It's not, I mean, somebody's like, how could suicide be selfish? Well, I mean, I'm not even going to call it that myself, but when you think about it, yeah, like...
I think it's the most absolutely selfish thing you can do.
My mother was
Yeah, go ahead.
My mother drove subway trains, and it is absolutely the most devastating thing you can do to an innocent person, to force them to watch that and be helpless to stop it.
They can't. Yeah, it's a train. It's not like they can stop. It's not like a car. You might have a chance, or something. But...
They cannot. They're helpless to stop it, and it is not... There's a lot of blood in a human body. That's not clean. It's horrific. It's messy. And you are forcing a lot of people to deal with that. And it's utterly cruel. It's just so cruel.
I agree with you.
Yep.
I don't even know. We got a big crowd tonight. I guess because of the drama.
Well, yeah, I'm sure Otter's sitting in a corner fapping into a otter puppet. Oh, they're talking about me.
All holes plugged.
Oh my god, I found a butt plug, by the way, with like an otter tail. And I'm like, guys,
Oh,
we should
don't
get
tell.
it
He's
for
gonna
him.
start looking for it now. Don't say
Good,
anything.
I hope he finds it, and I hope he uses it, and I hope it gets stuck and he turns septic and has to get it removed surgically.
By the way, Knuckleball in the chat's like, oh, she did it good because her boyfriend couldn't find her hanging. What about the fucker driving the train, you stupid son of a bitch? That's what we were just talking about. Or hey, do you not have enough fucking brain power to follow the goddamn conversation? Is that your problem?
There's no way to commit suicide without hurting other people, so just don't fucking do it, okay?
Yeah.
So now she's a bloody corpse in lots of pieces. That's just great. I'm sure that makes it much better for her parents and boyfriend.
And, the innocent bystanders that had to witness that and live with that for the rest of their lives.
I'm sure a few people got splattered, and that was lovely. I'm sure.
Yeah. And the thing about the train conductor, like, all he's probably thinking is, I killed somebody.
Yep.
Way to traumatize other people when you're trying to neutralize your own pain. I see that as so selfish.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I find it odd that people are saying, like, we shouldn't be discussing, think about the train conductor. We can discuss the collateral damage. It in no way diminishes the significance of the death of the person. We can talk about collateral damage. It's possible to have a nuanced conversation that involves a lot of people, that involves all the players. It doesn't diminish the status or importance of anyone. I think this is ridiculous. People in the chat room are saying things like, oh, if you care about the conductor, obviously it means you didn't care about Lily. Are you fucking retarded?
It's not like Lily can ever suffer again. I'm worried about the people she left behind doing this. I'm sad. I will say, I can't say I'm sad because I didn't know her. But is it sad that she's dead? Yes. Do I pity her? Yes. Do I feel badly that she thought that was her only way out? Yes. But there's nothing we can do for Lily at this point. She made goddamn sure of that.
Yep. You are absolutely right. Yep. And caring about the survivors in no way diminishes the loss. It doesn't at all.
No.
This is like saying offering post-traumatic stress syndrome counseling to firefighters means that we don't care about the people who died in the fire.
Yeah.
Like, shut up about the issues you have carrying the dead bodies of burnt children out. Just think about the burnt children. Like, it's ridiculous. It's preposterous. It's just another way of attempting to shut down the conversation. It's just another way of trying to censor, trying to control, trying to limit our ability to change the cultural narrative. But here's the bad news, bitches. The cultural narrative is changing. And I have one word that will summarize exactly how the narrative has changed, how deeply, how profoundly, how amazingly. One fucking word will tell you how much the world has changed. That word is Trump.
Yeah.
He's going to be the next fucking president because you idiots have muddied the conversation and the dialogue and the debate so badly. You have muddied it so profoundly with your idiocy that the only voice that makes sense in the face of your babbling moron, complete just jackassery, Trump is the only one who makes sense. Now think about that. When Trump is the voice of reason, you might want to take a step back and think it through.
That is very true, and like you said, they've made their own bed. These people are getting everything they deserve, and Trump, in a regular year, if the politicians had not been shit for 30 years straight, if the PC culture wasn't choking us out, this Trump might not be going over so well. I mean, I still think he'd be doing well, but he wouldn't be, going like a monster with it.
He's polling
it's
higher.
Not the first time. It's not the first time he's campaigned, but this is he was just kind of stillborn the past few times, but this time he's really taken off.
He's going to shock the shit out of America and Iowa. He's going to sweep. He's going to absolutely sweep. And it's not because he's like absolutely the best. I'm a big supporter of Trump. I will admit that. But it's not that Trump is the very best possible president that the U.S. could have. It's that he's the conversation has become so polluted and so concerned with virtue signaling that you can't make sense of what anyone wants. That Trump is the only voice that makes coherent sense. And people will latch on to coherent sense. I mean, what is he pulling it now? Like 28% of Democrats are going to vote for Trump.
Yeah, is he still? I mean, before people were saying he's polling behind Hillary. He's the one guy who's polling behind Hillary. I'm not sure that's true anymore, and I think we get to a general election anyhow. That's going to change. I think he's the only one. He's the only one who's actually tough enough that he's going to go after Hillary on her vulnerabilities.
Yeah, and it depends on what poll you're looking at. Well, we're looking at Trump having 40% of GOP support right now. So 60%. Where do the people who have divided that 60% of loyalty, behind whom are they going to throw their support? I mean, if Trump can grab enough of that 60% who are currently supporting another candidate, he's GOP. And Hillary doesn't understand social media. She doesn't understand the cult of celebrity. Donald Trump does. He will win. He will win.
Some of these GOP establishment types, though, are so, they're so underhanded and so disloyal. It wouldn't surprise me if they try to run a third-party candidate, like try to run some Republican establishment hack third party in general. I wouldn't surprise me at all.
Clover, the former mayor of New York, I think, is hinting at exactly that. And
I read that today.
Yeah, he that won't stop Donald Trump. No,
that guy would get like 1% with that.
What did he say today? I could shoot people in the street and I still wouldn't lose votes. He's absolutely right, because he's tagging into a populist sentiment, which a lot of people will immediately equate with fascism, with national socialism, with Nazi. It's ridiculous, actually. What people really want is a political outsider. They want who's not part of the, and that Ronald Reagan, that propelled him to office. Donald's going to win. In fact, I'm predicting he's going to take all 50 states. I think he will be the first POTUS in history with 100%.
I just like this idea.
California, Washington, they are all going Trump. And if you ask people on the street, did you vote for Trump? Everyone will be like, no, not me. No, that wasn't me.
I just like this idea.
He's got this massive landslide, yeah. Go ahead, Deuce.
I just like this idea that the guy who's actually listening to what most people actually want, he's supposed to be the fascist, but like these elitists who do their best to make sure that your vote doesn't matter no matter what you do, they're supposed to be they're supposed to be the avatars of democracy, I guess. Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know, but I think he's going to do very well. And like Janet said, that's the truth. Like you look at polls, and he's poised to take a big slice out of the Democrats. Originally, thought it would be good to run against Trump, but it might not be so good if you look at the polls. He takes 20-30% away, and he's polling really well with blacks. And just got a black Republican endorsement the other day. So yeah, go ahead.
So I just have to say, Ralph, I'm a Canadian. And, of course, Canadians are far more obsessed with American politics than Americans don't know anything about Canadian politics, because you don't have to. We're fucking hillbilly cousins fucking each other out behind the outhouse. So who cares? But we're totally obsessed. I love the number of Americans who don't understand that the U.S. is not actually a democracy. It's a constitutional republic. And they're like, huh?
What?
No, we're democracy.
I see them in chat. They're flipping out about the alt-right, the so-called. So you can trigger so many people just by saying that word.
Alt-right conspiracy.
Alt-right,
it's like
alt-right, the vast alt-right conspiracy.
That's what I call people I don't agree with, but I can actually explain to you what their positions are.
Yeah, and we just went through the section that they said was a big alt-right conspiracy in our chat, and it was nothing like that at all. And the last part that I said was like, oh, we should talk to everybody and be tolerant of friends with different views and stuff like that. So it is what it is.
Donald Trump is going to bring in the death camps. Donald Trump has to live by the constraints of the Constitution, which does not have a death camp amendment.
Did you see that article in BuzzFeed that introduced Milo's charity, the Privilege Charity for White Guys? In it, it talks about it mentions Christina Hoff Sommers as a popular alt-right figure.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
That's how ridiculous it's gotten. The alt-right boogeyman. It's everywhere.
So, I want to address something.
Go ahead. We're gonna go 10 or 15 minutes, probably, or so.
Yeah.
Probably bottom of the hour.
But I wanted to bring something up. I've noticed people saying things about, like, your chat and everything was like this cabal and, oh God, we're all evil and we're plotting and stuff. Do people not realize that Gleason has his own cabal chat thing? That he actually called the Hug Patrol cabal?
Oh, good.
Yeah, and he's not the only one. There's several others.
No, there's several. I mean, even Cult of Vivian pulled me into one at one point.
How sad would you have to be to want to be in Gleason's? Never mind.
I just kind of muted the thing because he pulled me into it on Twitter and Skype, which I still have everything up until the point he kicked me in there. But I'm not going to release it or anything like that because, I have more integrity than a lot of these people, and I don't want to fuck with the people who are in there that I still care about because I'm still friends with some of these people, that did nothing wrong, that have nothing to do with this. But yeah, I just found that interesting, Oh, what was going on with Maplethorpe, Ralph? Because I missed that.
He was
just
tweeting
having
all this out like it was fun.
Typical moody bullshit, flipping out about all this, and passive aggressive sniping and stuff like that, as usual.
Gotcha. I just find it sad. Like, a lot of these people I had a good, rapport with. A lot of these people I liked and everything. And now it's like, I'm the most evil thing in the world, I guess. Because I don't have sympathy for someone who I don't know. And I, have integrity, I guess, when it comes to, hey, let's not help pedophiles. God for fucking bid.
Bro Team seems to think they should be protected.
I'm still in shock about how crazy this has gotten.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to know a lot about pedophiles.
I'll be honest, I wasn't thrilled with Goose's original article, but it was within the realm. It was within, he made some points that were
would I have done any of those things? Would I have?
I said I
put
wouldn't
the
have
train
written
picture on there. No,
but
I would never have done that. I would have never, tweeted what he tweeted. But do I think he has every right to be as big a douchebag as he wants to? Hell yeah, we all do.
And the thing is, I'm really glad that he published that, because it's given this opportunity to show where so many of these people really stand. What they're really about.
Yeah.
They see one thing that hurts their feelings they don't like, and suddenly they're going after ad revenue by trying to attack articles exposing pedophiles. And that's really, really revealing.
They're telling you to kill yourself in the chat, Shannon. Like, why give these people any credibility whatsoever? It's... I guess
that's kind of funny that, they're all, oh, suicide is so bad. Oh, respect the people who kill themselves. By the way, kill yourself.
Exactly.
That's
what they're doing. That's what they're doing, and it's absolutely absurd.
Well, it's crazy they're going after, again, it's crazy they're going after Shannon the most, when she was hardly even in the chat. She's hardly in those logs. And she didn't say anything.
I wrote the damn thing. I wrote the piece. I dared to have an opinion, and I won't say I stepped out of line, because that's impossible, but I wheeled out of line.
So much for your cripple card, eh? Boy, that didn't work this time.
Janet, do you... we got a few minutes
Oh,
here.
my God. I find it unbelievable that they can set aside my very best friend has a disabled child, and this is not an easy life. This is a challenging life. It's not a challenge you can't live up to, but it's a fucking challenging life that you didn't ask for, and there's nothing you can do to remove it. I just find it amazing that they're actually willing to attack you. I mean, not that disabled people can't be assholes. They can be. But
of course.
Seriously, someone who's had an irreversible kind of setback, disadvantage that can't be overcome through any pulling up of bootstraps, you're going to attack this person for their opinion in the most horrific ways. There's literally people in the chat saying that you should throw yourself in front of a train. Like,
I should wheel myself in front of a train.
Right, wheel yourself in front
of a train. That's what they're saying.
Who are these people, and why are we giving them any attention at all? Maybe I'm not understanding. Like, is their influence that big that you must respond?
Honestly,
I really haven't responded to much of it.
I think there's some third parties they're maybe just taking some people's words for what's in those logs.
That's why I wanted to talk about.
So it's worth putting it out there for them. But no, I mean, the people that are really flipping out about this, they don't actually care what the case is. So it's not much.
Almost to a man and to a woman.
Point trying to reason
they were
with them.
people who already didn't like me.
Yeah, for like other people watching. Yeah.
Look, I get them showing up in my Twitter feed, and my response is almost universally exactly the same. I just tweet them back. I don't care what you think, and they run away crying and report me for abuse. But like, does that response not work in this scenario? Like,
how dare you care, or how dare you not care about my opinions about I hate you?
I guess this movement is just much bigger than I think I'm really grasping, because I don't understand why you don't do that. Why don't you just respond, I don't care what you think, fuck off?
I guess it's because a lot of these people I considered my friends.
Oh, fuck. Okay. That's
like,
serious.
Like, this is worse. And I know, oh God, Shannon playing the fucking victim, right? That's because God forbid I talk about how I feel about something. But, you know, and usually I really fucking don't. But, you know, this is worse to me than you know, anything anti-Gamergate has thrown at me. Anything that, you know, feminism and you know, MGTOWs that don't like me and shit like that. This is far worse because these people know me. They know things about me as a human being. They, you know, I thought these people cared about me as a person and, you know, were my friends for a long time, as far as I knew. And they're using everything they know about me to attack me and hurt me. They know my vulnerabilities.
That is so shitty. I wish I could give you a great big hug right now, because that is the absolute worst. I went through something similar when MGTOWs turned against me, deciding that because I'm a stay-at-home wife and mother, I'm automatically a whore and a parasite. And
right.
that was far more disturbing, to be attacked by people who generally supported my perspective than anything else. And wow, I don't have any advice for you, but I wish I could give you a hug, because that's hard. That's really hard, Shannon. I'm very sorry.
Well, you know what? I at least have found out through this who I can really trust, who are actually my friends. You know, last night when all this was going on and I was, you know, having a hard time with it because this was more than I had expected. You know, Ralph was really sweet and was like, hey, do you want to talk to me and Nora for a while? And that helped a lot. And it's like, I feel like I have lost a bunch of superficial friendships, but I feel like my real friendships are becoming stronger. And I might just, you know, leave the Twitter-ness for a little while. And no, I'm not going to, I'm going to hand over my shit to, you know, my assistant or anything. I'm just saying I probably won't be on Twitter as much. I'm going to, you know, hang out with people in real life that, you know, are tangible. And, you know, obviously I'm not wanted in this movement anymore. I never said I was leaving. I never said I hated Gamergate. But if people want me out, fuck them, I'm not leaving. But maybe I'll just, you know, not post as much. And I honestly hadn't been tweeting Gamergate stuff in a while. I'd been focusing on anti-feminism for the most part. So I'll just continue to do that.
Yes, I have to say, you're chucking the dictionary at that little snotty bitch meme.
I spent like an hour making that GIF because it wouldn't load right.
That was so awesome.
Well, that's from the movie Saved. Have you seen it?
I haven't.
Yeah. It's a movie. It's called Saved, and it's all these like crazy Christians and stuff. And that girl is throwing a Bible at another girl, and she's yelling, "I am filled with Christ's love." And that's all I could think about is like, you know, them throwing the dictionary. It's about equality. So yeah.
First off, if you've seen the I cannot say her
Reese
name.
Witherspoon.
Yes.
Reese Witherspoon.
Her adaptation that she did of Vanity Fair. When she graduates from this posh school, the headmistress gives her a dictionary, and she kind of does the same thing. She just throws it at her.
I actually have to say that about another movie.
It's awesome, but that one was fantastic.
So we're gonna wrap it up. First thing, I want to thank everybody. We're gonna go around the horn first.
All right, did they totally leave us here? I think we're here by ourselves.
No, we still got a good crowd.
What happened to the men?
I want to. Can you hear me?
I don't know. Ralph might be asleep for all I know. He's still awake, Ralph?
I know. I thought that was absolutely astonishing.
Oh, no, I had my microphone muted and I didn't even know.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not asleep. I am tired. I've been up for like 35 hours, so I don't even know how long now. But what I wanted to thank all the hate listeners that were here. There are definitely some haters. Protein Pill, all his faggot fans decided to show up. So I wanted to thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for helping my view count go up. I'm glad you watched it. Downvote it if you like. That's fine. It doesn't matter. The view still counts. And then I want to thank all the regular people who would have been here anyway. You guys are great. And we're going to do this again next week, of course. Let me go around the horn. I'm going to wrap it up with Janet first. I'm going to go to Deuce, then Shannon. So go ahead, Deuce.
I got nothing more to say. Yeah, we covered everything. Pretty much. If people want to keep flipping out about it, they can.
Yeah, exactly. They can suck my dick. That's what they can do. Shannon, you got anything to say? You put a pretty good point on it. You got any little final thought though?
I'm completely out of fucks to give, and I'm gonna go smoke copious amounts of cigarettes on Skype, and that's what I do.
Very, very good.
And you know what? Hopefully I get cancer for these people. Oh, wait, no. I'm not catching feminism.
The protein fans in the chat, they're already brought the cancer.
The suicide, Shannon. You know, according to... You make jokes like that. They're planning to drive suicide.
I'm just committing the slowest possible suicide by smoking cigarettes. So, there you go.
There we go.
Yep. Janet. The one and only Janet Bloomfield. Do you have anything to say?
I do, and I'm going to put you on the spot here, Ralph, and I'm going to make it really hard for you to say no to me. Apparently, my doctor's episode got pulled, right? They didn't air it.
What?
Seriously, they did not air it. The producers told me I signed a waiver. I am not technically allowed to talk about it other than to say the episode will be aired at a later date to be announced. I'm going to send you a link, Ralph, to Paul Elam, my boss at A Voice for Men, who blows my fucking mind. Obviously, either got the footage or had someone in the audience, because he's got a video up that will absolutely blow your mind. I would like to see Dr. Phil's feed just paralyzed with copies of this video in the morning. I'm going to send it to you, and I'm going to ask you... I'm going to plead with you. Can you please put it on your site?
Yes, certainly. I would love to do that.
Yeah. All right. And that's all I have to say.
And by the way, Paul Am's really cool. I like that guy a lot. So, yeah.
He is cool, and he's 6'5". You know, he's like an absolute monster. He's the hugest guy you've ever seen in your life. He's amazing.
Yeah, I would love to post that. I got some work to do of my own. I'm gonna finish up my thoughts on this crazy drama. Then I'm gonna write about some real things, and then I'm gonna put your video up. Whatever we need to do with that, I want that to get as much play as possible.
Yeah, I'd like Monday. I just want Dr. Phil's feed to be absolutely flooded with this. Can you please ask me why this episode was pulled? Because it was a fantastic episode and the audience loved it.
Yeah, I think that would be appropriate that they have to answer, and maybe they will. So yeah, I'm eager to see it myself too. So it's not just I want to promote it; I actually want to see it.
I wanted to see it too.
Yeah,
I was waiting for it to be on YouTube. I was
not only is Janet a partner, I'm a very big fan of hers, and always have been. So
because I like had my makeup done by a professional artist, and it was so pretty.
Did you take a selfie?
I did. That's my profile pic on Twitter. I snapped that in my dressing room at Paramount Studios.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to go look.
Yeah. Because I don't do makeup, and when I do it, it looks like a clown applied it. Like it's not really good. My 7-year-old, she's been studying YouTube videos for 2 years. I mean, actually, you know what? I have to tell you this. I let them just watch YouTube, whatever they want. So she's watching something, and there's like music, and it's bubbles, and it's popping, and I'm like, hey, Jane, what are you watching? She's 7, right? She's like, oh, I'm just exploring non-Newtonian liquids.
like what?
What? She's like, yes, Mom, that's a liquid that contains enough solid that if you move over it continuously, you don't sink, like custard. And she's saying it in this voice of, like, total...
You can do that with water and cornstarch.
Yeah, she's giving me this voice of, like, total contempt. She's 7. She's like, you don't know what non-Newtonian liquids are.
Oh, my God, my 6-year-old does that shit to me, too.
I know. It's like, oh, Jesus. You know what? I don't even want to talk to you about quantum entanglements. Like, do you know that all elements have a matching particle somewhere in the universe? Like, you know, do you want some chicken nuggets?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I wouldn't mind some chicken nuggets right now, actually. I think I'm going to go eat some chili. I won't be getting outside of my house because it's fucking blizzard. Like 1.5 feet of snow, can't even really get the door open. So I just wanted to say, pretty much, like I said, I'll have some more on my site, but we dealt with some, difficult material tonight. I had fun talking to you guys, and appreciate you coming on a lot. So
bring a bowl of snow in for your cat. She will really like it.
You think so?
She will love it. Yep.
Okay, I will do that then.
All right.
We'll see how that goes over. Thank you, Deuce. Thank you, Shannon.
Welcome.
Thank you to the incomparable Janet Bloomfield. And as soon as I find the button, we're going to sign off. Thank you to everyone who watched, even the haters. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us on.
Yep. Peace out. And
Thank you.